Assalamualaikum, my name is ARINA SYAZANI binti RDZUAN. My number matric is 03DUB25F1013.
Wabarakatuh. My name is Zahraa binti ALIAS. Nombor matrik 03DUB25F1015.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya NURIN binti Muhammad NUHAIRI. Nombor matrik saya 03DUB25F1017.
Hi, my name is MELSA and
Introduction is talking about the construction industry play a vital role in a country economic growth, and understanding its market structure and macroeconomic issues is essential in the study of principle of economics. Market structure refers to the level of competition within the industry, which can range from perfect competition to monopoly, depending on the number of firms, entry barrier, and product differentiation. In the construction sector, the market is often characterized by monopolistic competition or oligopoly, where a few large firms dominate the market. Meanwhile, macroeconomic issues such as inflation, unemployment, interest rate, and government policies directly influence construction costs, investment level, and overall demand. Therefore, analyzing these economic factors help in understanding how the construction industry contribute to national development and respond to changes in the economic environment. Next is the current challenges or issues in the construction industry market structure. First is tough competition. Many contractors compete for the same projects and reducing profit. Number two is unfair tendering. For example, big companies often win tenders, making it hard for small firms to grow. Third, rising costs. For example, prices of material like cement and steel keep increasing due to inflation. Number four is labor shortage. For example, the industry depend on foreigner workers because of limited skill local. Number five is economic uncertainty. Fluctuating demand and budget cuts slow industry growth. And the last one is strict regulation. Complex approval processes delay project completion.
So let's go for main type market structure. There are four main type of market structure, which is perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopoly. In perfect competition, there are many small sellers offering the same product and no one controls the price. In monopolistic competition, many sellers offer similar but slightly different products, so each has some control over price. In an oligopoly, only a few large firms dominate the market and they can influence prices. In a monopoly, there is only seller with full control over the market and price. So let's go for the next one, which is market structure best represents the Malaysia's construction industry. The market structure that best represents its characteristic is oligopoly. A few large firms dominate with some differentiation and barriers to entry. This is the reason. So first, there are several large dominant firms in Malaysian construction. For example, Gamuda Berhad, IJM Corporation Berhad, YTL Corporation Berhad that wins major infrastructure projects. There are significant barriers to entry, large-scale projects, high capital, regulatory requirements, and established reputation. Products or services are differentiated, infrastructure versus residential versus industrial construction, rather than purely identical. Because of the size and dominance of key players, the smaller firms face tougher competition and less influence. And lastly, even though many firms exist, the largest ones capture a major portion of big contracts and resources. So that's it from me. Thank you.
explain to you how government policies affect the construction sector. First, let's look at the fiscal policy first. The expansionary fiscal policy. The government reduces taxes and increases government expenditure. The impact on the construction is increased private demand. Lower taxes like corporate or personal income tax increase the disposable income of individuals and businesses. This can lead to more private investment in commercial real estate and higher household spending on building, renovating, or buying new homes. Second is direct investment. A significant portion of increased government spending is often directed toward public infrastructure projects such as building new schools, highways, clinics, and public housing. Next is contractionary fiscal policy. The government increases taxes and decreases government expenditure. The impact on construction is reduced public projects. The most direct impact is the cancellation of public infrastructure projects. This can lead to a sudden drop in contract for construction firms. Second is dampen private investment. Higher taxes reduce the funds available for private investment and consumer spending. Business may delay expansion plans, and individuals may postpone building or buying homes due to lower disposable income. Now let's move on to the next point, which is monetary policy. Monetary policy is used by the central bank, like Bank Negara, to control the supply of money and interest rate. Now let's look at the expansionary monetary policy first. This policy increasing the supply of money and reducing interest rate. One of the effects on the construction are cheaper loans. Lower interest rate make it cheaper for developers to borrow money to finance new construction projects, and individuals and families to obtain mortgages to buy new homes. Second is increased investment. Lower return on saving account may push investors toward real estate as an alternative, further driving demand for construction. Now let's move on to contractionary monetary policy. This policy reducing the money supply and raising the interest rate to curb inflation. The impacts on construction are expensive financing. Higher interest rates increase the cost of loans for both developers and home buyers. Second is reduced demand. As mortgages become more expensive, demand for new housing falls. Developers find new projects less financially viable due to high borrowing costs. And now let's move on to the third one, direct control policy. Direct control policy is a principle and regulation enforced by the government to direct and limit action to achieve long-term goals. The effects of the construction sector are, first is housing initiative and stimulus packages. The government can directly create new employment opportunities by launching affordable housing program or large-scale infrastructure stimulus packages. These are explicit target boosts for the construction industry. Next is price control and rationing. In extreme circumstances, the government might control the price of key construction material, like steel or cement, to manage project costs and prevent inflation from halting construction. And now I will explain to you macroeconomic issues such as inflation, unemployment, or interest rate and how they influence construction activities. First is interest rate. Interest rate is one of the biggest factors. Low rates make mortgages and project loans cheaper, boosting demand for construction. Businesses are also more likely to borrow more expansion, leading to more commercial and industrial construction. High rates do the opposite, slowing this sector down dramatically. High interest rate makes mortgages more expensive for home buyers. Similarly, developers and investors face higher for loans to finance new commercial projects, making many projects unviable. This led to a decline in new construction starts. The second one is inflation. Rising prices increase the cost of materials such as steel, cement, and labor, squeezing profit and causing project delays. To fight inflation, banks raise interest rate, which further suppresses construction demand. Now, the third one is unemployment. High employment means fewer people can afford to buy homes or invest in businesses, killing demand for new construction. Low unemployment boosts demand but can also lead to labor shortages and higher wages in the industry. And now I will explain to you macroeconomic issues such as inflation, unemployment, or interest rate and how they influence construction activities. First is
The roles of international trade. We have construction materials, labor, and investment. First, let's talk about construction materials. International trade allows countries to import and export construction materials, which has several implications. Number one, access to high-quality materials. Countries lacking local resources can import steel, cement, timber, or specialized materials for modern construction projects. Number two, cost efficiency. Importing cheaper materials from countries with lower production cost reduces construction expenses. Number three, innovation and technology transfer. International suppliers may provide advanced materials, example, prefabricated panels, reinforced composites, that improves construction efficiency and sustainability. Number four, supply chain challenges. Dependence on imports can cause delays or price fluctuations due to tariffs, transport costs, or global crises. For example, to sum up, the construction material is Singapore imports most of its steel and timber because it lacks local sources, enabling its high-rise and infrastructure projects. Number two in international trade is labor. International trade in construction can involve the movement of skilled and unskilled labor across borders. Number one, filling skill gaps. Countries with labor shortage can hire foreign construction workers or engineers to complete projects. Number two, cost reduction. Hiring foreign labor from countries with lower wage expectation can reduce project costs. Three, knowledge transfer. International experts introduce new construction techniques, project management practice, and safety standards. Number four, social and regulatory issues. Labor migration can raise concerns about worker rights, cultural integration, and regulation compliance. For example, to sum up, the labor is the Gulf country, UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia rely heavily on migrant construction workers from South Asia to build mega projects. In the role of international trade is investment. International trade fosters foreign direct investment (FDI) and joint ventures in the construction sector. Number one, capital inflow. Foreign investors fund large-scale projects, improving infrastructure and creating jobs. Number two, technology and expertise. FDI often brings advanced construction technology and professional expertise to local markets. Number three, economic growth. Investment boosts GDP, urban development, and connectivity. Number 4, dependence risk. Over-reliance on foreign capital can expose countries to global market fluctuations. For example, to sum up the investment is Chinese construction firms invest heavily in African infrastructure projects under the Belt and Road Initiative, bringing both funding and technical skills. So, to conclude our presentation topic, which is market structure and macroeconomics issues in the construction industry, is the construction industry plays a vital role in driving national economic growth and development. Understanding the market structure helps identify how competition, pricing, and efficiency influence overall performance in the sector. At the same time, macroeconomics issues such as inflation, interest rates, and government policies significantly affect construction costs, investment decisions, and employment levels. Therefore, a stable economic environment and well-regulated market structure are essential to ensure sustainable growth, innovation, and competitiveness within the construction industry. Thank you. So, to conclude our presentation topic, which is market structure and macroeconomics issues in the construction industry, is the construction industry plays a vital role in driving national economic growth and development. Understanding the market structure helps identify how competition, pricing, and efficiency influence overall performance in the sector. At the same time, macroeconomics issues such as inflation, interest rates, and government policies significantly affect construction costs, investment decisions, and employment levels. Therefore, a stable economic environment and well-regulated market structure are essential to ensure sustainable growth, innovation, and competitiveness within the construction industry. Thank you. So, to conclude our presentation topic, which is market structure and macroeconomics issues in the construction industry, is the construction industry plays a vital role in driving national economic growth and development. Understanding the market structure helps identify how competition, pricing, and efficiency influence overall performance in the sector. At the same time, macroeconomics issues such as inflation, interest rates, and government policies significantly affect construction costs, investment decisions, and employment levels. Therefore, a stable economic environment and well-regulated market structure are essential to ensure sustainable growth, innovation, and competitiveness within the construction industry. Thank you. So, to conclude our presentation topic, which is market structure and macroeconomics issues in the construction industry, is the construction industry plays a vital role in driving national economic growth and development. Understanding the market structure helps identify how competition, pricing, and efficiency influence overall performance in the sector. At the same time, macroeconomics issues such as inflation, interest rates, and government policies significantly affect construction costs, investment decisions, and employment levels. Therefore, a stable economic...
Zahraa, what type of market structure best describes the Malaysian construction industry?
The Malaysian construction industry is mainly an oligopolistic market where a few large companies dominate major projects but many smaller contractors compete for smaller work. This creates high competition and unequal market power among firms.
Zahraa, what type of market structure best describes the Malaysian construction industry?
The Malaysian construction industry is mainly an oligopolistic market where a few large companies dominate major projects but many smaller contractors compete for smaller work. This creates high competition and unequal market power among firms.
Zahraa, what type of market structure best describes the Malaysian construction industry?
The Malaysian construction industry is mainly an oligopolistic market where a few large companies dominate major projects but many smaller contractors compete for smaller work. This creates high competition and unequal market power among firms. How do macroeconomic factors affect the construction industry in Malaysia?
Macroeconomic factors such as inflation, interest rates, and government spending influence construction costs and project demand. For example, high inflation raises material prices, while higher interest rates make loans more expensive for contractors. What are the main challenges faced by the Malaysian construction industry today?
The main challenges include rising material costs, skilled labor shortage, strict regulations, and economic uncertainty. These issues slow project progress, reduce profitability, and affect the overall stability of the industry.